and Old Jefferson, Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Here we go again. Yeah, you're right. Let's get this thing underway, New Orleans and the metro area. Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday afternoon in the Crescent City, a.k.a. it is indeed New Orleans, Louisiana. There's no doubt about that. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X at the controls. There goes the neighborhood. There's already like smoke pouring out of one of the consoles in the Buddy Deliberto Total Maintenance Studios. Oh, wow. I shouldn't joke about that with that Smitty Supply in Roseland. That wasn't good at all.
Bad timing.
No, really bad timing. They have a great lady, this lady, Katie, online, who's got a special needs kid, and the husband, the family, they're just tight nuclear family dedicated to the kid. They're like, what their attitude's like, what special needs kid? They're just as good as you can handle a situation and just excelling at it, and everybody's happy, and they live near it. And she was posting some, footage, like we're 3-5 miles away and there's a big plume of smoke. I was like, get out of Dodge. Go to New Orleans, check in a hotel for the weekend. Go to Baton Rouge, check in a hotel for the weekend. At least, I'd just kind of get away from that area. I don't want to be anywhere near that area. I don't know if we had a nice north breeze over the weekend. I kind of think I was smelling some of that stuff every now and then in the city. I don't know if you thought the same thing. 766-9480. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Yes, Smitty's Supply in Roseland, up in Tangipahoa Parish, off Highway 51. They say it's like 90+% contained. The photos I saw, like, you had like a mini, it's not like a tank farm. It was just like a facility that held millions of gallons of petroleum-based products, all kind of stuff. Crude, diesel, lighter fluid for charcoal, chemicals, all kind of stuff. And they had some type of explosion or rupture or fire. And when one of these things gets going and it starts spewing out black smoke and orange flames, it heats up another tank and they rupture or blow up, and then on and on and on. But the photos I saw, that place is just like pretty much leveled. Basically leveled. No tanks left. There might have been a couple that were like separate from the cluster that might be standing, but that's about it. Smitty's Supply, Roseland, Louisiana. Yeah, 90% contained, according to folks on the North Shore. But the feds have come in. The EPA is taking over. Louisiana has a very weak Department of Environmental Quality. I think you'd have to really be in denial. You'd have to have somebody that works there, and they might do a good job. So you're taking what I'm saying personally. But when you sit back and think about it, you're like, boy, my husband, my wife, all they do is complain about the dysfunction. They actually are environmentally minded folks trying to protect the environment, protect the citizens of Louisiana. We know there's going to be oil and gas and chemical. We embrace that stuff. We have the Mississippi River. It's coming. But it's got to be done right where it doesn't harm us. And we kind of have the opposite attitude. We let the inmates run the asylum. The oil and gas industry, the chemical industry, they run the Department of Environmental Quality in Louisiana. There's no doubt about it. They dictate policy. When they get a fine, it's minor. There's never any repercussions. They know when they can dump and discharge exceedingly heavy amounts and when they can't. It might be like a rainy, foggy day. I don't know when they know, but they do it. We occasionally catch them when there's some absurd overt action because of it, like a fish kill or folks are in the water getting sick, tubing down the river, something like that. So we have a weak DEQ. The feds are taking over. I'm concerned about today's EPA. Department of Defense, I want generals and military people running that. EPA, call me crazy. I want environmental types running that. I don't want zealots. I don't want lunatics that, hey, you got to save that, that an owl can't cut down any trees. I mean, I want balance. But it's funny, the feds air monitoring conducted by the EPA and DEQ, quote, no detectable levels of hazardous substances. Now, I don't know if you've heard the stories or seen the video. White vehicles are covered in petroleum products, water puddles all full of petroleum products. You can see the slick. Folks saying my dog was white, now he's black, like a dog covered in it. In the air, starts raining, big flakes floating down. And the EPA and DEQ says, after testing the air and the environment, no detectable levels of hazardous substances. Then there are no hazardous substances. I mean, this is a little petroleum kind of mini little farm of tanks that blew up and ruptured, all kind of different chemicals burning together. Probably shouldn't be mixed together anyway, some of them. And they're mixed together. Just the thick black plume of smoke was ridiculous. And the fire was out of control. And it took a long time to contain it. But to say no detectable levels of hazardous substances, I mean, that's meaningless. It's just silly. Anyway, I don't know what the levels are. That's what sucks. You don't know how harmful it was, what folks experienced. But that Smitty's Supply in Roseland, I don't know if I'd be going back for a while. I mean, if it's smoldering still, especially. Stay away from that area. Who wants to be near that area? If there's any kind of scent or smell in the air, you don't want to be near that area. Breathing that in for hours, days, weeks. Come on. Mayor Junket Cantrell indicted. Mayor Junket Cantrell. Kaboom goes the dynamite. Her arraignment at federal court on Poydras Street, 16 days away, 2 weeks from Wednesday, September 10th. She'll be walking up those steps with her attorney. Vappy will be there the same day with his attorney. Doubtful they'll be walking up the steps at the same time. Those attorneys will get together and say, okay, we're supposed to be there. I'm just making up the time for 9:30. You guys head in at 9:15. We're going to go in at 9:20. You guys go in at 9:08. We're going in at 9:20. We don't want to be anywhere seen together, walking in together. Indicted Mayor Junket Cantrell, 16 days away from an arraignment. The number one thing, you want justice to be served throughout this process. I'm not some lunatic that, hey, I want the mayor going to jail for 20 years. I mean, I don't even know the parameters of what jail time would be. Just from what I've read on various stories, it can be a few months to maybe 20 months, 2 or 3 years tops. That would be like worst case scenario. I just want justice to be served. And part of that process moving along in this arraignment, it's a federal indictment. They have the authority to, and it's kind of the usual deal. You're banned from leaving. You can't travel. You can't leave the Eastern District of Louisiana. Now, I mean, it's Junket Cantrell, for crying out loud, hence the nickname. The indictment is all about Vappy and 14 trips, $70,000 plus in taxpayer money spent. It's obvious the mayor should be grounded. That's a no-brainer. And the judge can even say, Mayor, I understand you're an active mayor, innocent until proven guilty. There's somewhere you have to go that you think is important as your duties as mayor. And it benefits the citizens of New Orleans and monetarily, job-wise, whatever. Send us a request. We'll review it and let you know if you can go or not. And of course, personal things. Someone died in the family. You need to go to California, whatever. All these things would be on a per case basis. Her sending in the request to the judge and them deciding if Junket Cantrell can travel or not. Wow. Speaking of wow, oh boy, the oh boy category. This goes in the 10 Commandments category. Speaking of categories, you know, the unconstitutional category. President Trump signs an executive order banning flag burning. 1 year in jail. 766-9480. What do you think of that? 766-9480. President Trump signs an executive order banning flag burning. Burn a flag, 1 year in jail. He even says, like, not a month, not 30 years, not 3 years, 1 year in jail. 766-9480. Mario Bro, a.k.a. Latin X, at the controls, fielding your phone calls. He's bummed out. The 2 Louisiana Buc-ee's are being delayed. Imagine that. We can't get the Buc-ee's built on time in Louisiana. Mississippi could, and they did. Buc-ee's.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Total maintenance, TM-AC.com, your cool spots. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Thoughtful conversation, common sense. Corey Johnson.
With all due respect, Mr. Dennis, I had no idea you'd gotten experimental surgery to have your removed.
Live streaming at CoreyTalks.com.
What was that? Whoa, I said with all due respect.
Yeah, you right. Monday afternoon, Corey Johnson back at you. A full slate of topics. We're rolling till 6 p.m. You can join us anywhere you can hear us via the radio, via the television. Yeah, we're on TV all over South Louisiana, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette. How about checking us out on our YouTube channel, The Neutral Ground, with Corey Johnson on YouTube? Let's go to the phone lines. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Miss Marie joins us in New Orleans via New York, from what I understand. What up, Miss Marie?
Hi, how are you, Corey?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm calling to comment on your question apropos to President Trump wanting to jail people who burn the flag.
Yep.
I agree with that. I agree that a person who disrespects the American flag should pay a penalty. The flag is very precious. It's representative of this country. It should be respected. And I want to just throw this in as an aside. A lot of people criticize the government. They hate the government, blah, blah, blah. When COVID came out, everybody was saying they didn't trust the government, but yet they grab at the government benefits. They grab at the freebies. They want everything free. They want the government benefits. But then they're going to turn around and disrespect the very country that provides those benefits. And the flag is a sacred symbol. It's like the crucifix being a symbol of Christianity. And anyone who disrespects a sacred symbol should pay a price. That's my opinion.
No, I hear you, and I caught your example. Let me throw kind of one out at you. What if the military is sent into Ohio and they're armed, and we have a repeat of, the military in the early 70s where they ended up shooting some students, and just because it got out of control, those were the orders. And these soldiers were so disgusted, some of them that refused to shoot students, they burned the flag in protest. These soldiers, and it's universally accepted that it was a Wrong, bad situation. Military should have never been there. Obviously shouldn't have had live ammunition and shooting students. So a mistake. And these soldiers burned the flag in protest. They should be jailed. This military, when there was a mistake and they were protesting that mistake by burning the flag. We're the proudest of the proud. We're the military. We're the folks that, give America, people and citizens, its freedom. And this was a major governmental mistake, and we don't stand by it.
Well, it's misplaced anger and aggression, because burning the flag, to me, in that situation you just brought up, really doesn't solve anything, because the flag is not the one that issued the orders. It was a human being that said, shoot the students or do whatever. Once again, a flag is only a symbol.
Oh, no, I agree. But I mean, as far as it doesn't solve anything, it's a form of protest. You if you didn't love America, you wouldn't be here. You'd go somewhere else. So someone burning the flag, one could argue, is the ultimate showing of love for America, that this country that they love and respect, that has this standard that the world looks up to. We didn't live up to that standard, or maybe even embarrassed ourselves. They're burning that flag in protest. It could be too much government, not enough government support of something. So after a disaster, being felt left out. I don't know. I love the flag. I have no desire to burn the flag, but I've never been in a situation where I've been so mad at, the country. And what you're not gonna go destroy a public building. You go to jail. That's a felony. But you bought the flag. You own the flag, this symbol of America, and you choose to burn the flag. And real quick, I'm not cutting you off. There are a bunch of idiots that burn the flag all the time, for sure. People that you hate, you despise, doing it for all the wrong reasons. There's no doubt, but that's part of America. We even have to tolerate the idiots,
Well, I hear what you're saying, and I respect what you're saying, but I'm going to go back to my original premise. I saw a T-shirt, because I am in New York. I'm down here visiting in the South, but I saw a T-shirt in the subway that said, if you don't like America, I'll help you to pack, and you can go somewhere else.
Nice.
I'm paraphrasing what was on that T-shirt.
Yeah.
And this is how I feel. If anyone has a problem with this country, if they hate America so much, why don't they just pack and go somewhere else?
Oh, no, I hear you. I think people that do hate it or even love it, but they're disappointed in it for whatever their reasons are, they do pack and go to Europe or go to the Bahamas. There are a lot of Americans that live there, might go to Canada. No, a lot of people do that. But I think you're making it this just cut and dry thing. You burn the flag equals you hate America. And I don't think that's the case at all. I think I think that's the minority. I think that's the minority of people that burn the flag, that they hate America. I mean, why would you stick around if you didn't like it?
Disrespectful, though. It's the epitome of disrespect.
I mean, I think in some cases,
sacred symbols.
I think in some cases it can be. It depends on the application, but I think a lot of the time it's just a freedom of expression by Americans who have earned the right to burn the flag. They're that disgusted in the government, what the country did or is doing or whatever, and they choose to burn the flag. I mean, I think it doesn't bother me in that regard. I mean, what bothers me is, any idiots or morons protesting, David Dork, protesting hatred or racism or something. That bothers me. But also, I would defend that idiot's right to be able to go do that. That's the beauty of America. If it was just what I liked or what you liked, it wouldn't be, freedom and the wide open place it is. So freedom's tough.
Well, I respect your opinion. And I see where you're coming from. But the place that I'm coming from is, I don't know, maybe I'm just old-fashioned or whatever, but I believe in respecting tradition. I believe in respecting sacred symbols, and that's just me. I honor the flag. I honor, my sacred symbols, and But I also understand what you're saying. I mean, there's two sides of the coin that can be looked at and debated.
It's a great freedom in the United States of America under freedom of speech, where we can burn our own flag in protest. Like, not being able to do that seems like a definitive thing of like North Korea, Iran, China, those kind of countries where they put down a very firm line on that type of stuff, where you have to assimilate and lose freedom. Here, you can get to do it. And you want to know the beauty of it, Miss Marie? You get to identify who the people are that burn the flag, what their reason was, and then you can make a judgment if you think it was justifiable or not. Or in your case, you can be like, hey, anyone that burns the flag, I put them in this category of someone I don't want to deal with or have anything to do with anymore. Identifies those people for you.
You've certainly given me another viewpoint, and I'm going to definitely think about what you're saying, because I try to be as open-minded as possible, and I don't believe that my opinion is the only opinion that floats. And you certainly presented to me another viewpoint that I'm going to think about, and maybe in the future I'll comment on what I thought about and what conclusions I come up with. But your premise is very valid, and I don't disagree with it. But I don't know, maybe I'm just traditional. I'm just thinking maybe the old-fashioned way of respect and being traditional. This is a new day, and times are changing, and people are doing things differently. And maybe it's because I'm a baby boomer that I'm more of a traditionalist.
Yeah, no, it's probably true.
Values. I'm not a Gen X person.
No, I'm early Gen X. I'm probably 80% Gen X, just a little. No baby boomer. My I have like maybe older sister, older brother that are.
I'm very traditional.
No, I think that's fine. I think that's a good thing. You want to know what's great is, like, you're not like, screw you, Corey, and want to have nothing to do with you. And I'm not like, Miss Marie, you're crazy, get out of here, and hanging up on you. Like,
I'm open-minded.
Yeah, me too. And I don't think these are topics that should.
Valid. You came up with some very valid points, and you've given me another overview that I'm going to think about. I'm not going to say you're wrong, because I don't believe you are. I think you've given another viewpoint, and that's the beauty of your show. People can call in and give their viewpoints, and people can disagree without being disagreeable.
Yeah.
And you brought up another point that I need to think about. Once again, I'm thinking with a baby boomer brain, but I am open-minded, and I am willing to listen to another viewpoint and think about it. And what you're basically saying is that the beauty of America is that, we have freedom of speech and people have a right to protest. And I see where you're coming from. But what I wish would happen, just as you and I are having a very harmonious, affable conversation, I wish human beings as a whole would be more affable and communicate with each other the way you and I are doing now, instead of being so contentious and warlike. I find that people are getting very hostile and warlike rather than sitting down and saying, okay, your view is different from mine, my view is different from yours, but maybe we can think about each other's opinion and come to a conclusion, or at least respect each other's viewpoint. Does that make any sense?
No, it totally makes sense, Miss Marie. You're right on the money. That's the problem in today's polarizing political, arena that we live in. You've got Republicans that refuse to work with Democrats. They'd be a sellout for doing that. You got Democrats refusing to work with Republicans. You'd be a sellout doing that. And it's partisan politics, their party, their club, over doing what's best for us and getting things done. Miss Marie, thanks so much for the phone call. Coming
Does
right
Helm
back.
Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive complex is something called Quick Lane. tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Hey, Marigny, Bywater, Treme, French Quarter, CBD, Warehouse District, Garden District, Irish Channel. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Yeah, you right. Wherever you may be in our listening, viewing audience, 766-9480 is how you dial us up. The now infamous 504 area code. Yep. That bad boy for the last few decades has become known nationwide. 504 766-9480. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X at the controls. He's bilingual, by the way. So we will take your Spanish calls as well, and we'll have Mario do the translation. Fluent in both Spanish and English. Not me. It isn't even muy poquito Espanol. It's like no bueno Espanol. Very, very little. Very, 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 very little. But by default, got such a large Honduran population, especially. Yeah. Over, from what I understand, over 100,000 Hondurans alone in Metro New Orleans. Yes. That's like 1 out of 12 of us. 1 out of every dozen New Orleanians is a Honduran. And then you got a bunch of, Mexicans, Brazilians now. You've got, of course, Venezuela and Guatemala. So you've got a lot of Latinos, Cubans represented in New Orleans. So it might be like 1 out of 10 in Metro New Orleans, Latino.
Yep. There's a lot of us.
Yep. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. You heard Miss Marie and I discussing the flag burning thing. She is against the flag, being burned in protest. I'm not. I think that's like the ultimate, First Amendment right. It's pretty damn incredible. I have no desire to burn the flag. I could pretty much guarantee for never in my life and for the rest of my life, I'll never burn an American flag. I feel really confident that that's the case. Have no desire, never thought about it. The American flags I own, I don't want to burn that. Like, I like that flag, Got Louisiana flag, New Orleans flags. Don't want to burn any of those. But because we live in such a special country, like I mentioned as an example, David Dork, the Nazi KKK loser. Yeah, I hate everything he stands for, but that jerk should have the right to protest or, freedom of speech, even though everything he says we hate. We hate, we despise it. It's nauseating. It's disgusting. It's gross. It's sickening. It's subhuman. No, we hate it. But that's the great thing about America. Even losers like that get to say their stupidity. You just don't have to listen and go the other way. No, and I think burning the flag is just like the ultimate. It's like, damn, America's free. It's incredible. That's the beauty of it. You got to tolerate some losers and some jerks. Otherwise, it'd be pretty boring, And I'm not talking about you want that. Just that's how it works. That's how it works. Everyone's not going to agree with everything. Everybody's not going to like everything everyone else does. That's the beauty of America. You want some, country where you assimilate. There are countries all around the world where you can go and they're very, homogenous, and even worse, like go to Iran or North Korea. I see Kim Jong-un could do anything and they just all clapping in unison no matter what. Otherwise, you get your head chopped off. It's pretty simple. 766-9480 is the phone number. 766-9480. Yeah, GQ on the North Shore. He's knocking out two birds with one stone. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx. He says, isn't the only acceptable way of getting rid of an old flag is to burn it? I think that I was thinking about that a few minutes ago for a second, kind of let the thought go, but I think he's right.
Really?
Yeah, an old raggedy flag that's just like wind torn, or maybe you had stored and moths got to it and it's full of holes and it cannot be flown properly. You don't just throw that in the garbage.
Yeah.
You burn that flag. I think that's right. But that's not in protest. That's another thing. President Trump was just like, he loves jumping from one, premise that isn't factually based to a second one that's maybe even more not factually based. But he's like, you burn the flag, horrible riots happen. Horrible riots. Like it's automatic. Like, burn flag, horrible riot happens. It's like sometimes they have people that burn the flag, just unsavory jerks and losers. You better have a military presence, or not military, but police presence there, because it could get violent. Those folks, they're breaking the law. The flag, it could be anything. They're no flag burning. They're going to break the law. So you can't just flag burning equals out of control riot, no matter what. And that's kind of what Trump insinuated today.
Yeah, big difference between burning your flag and throwing it away in your backyard.
Yeah.
Burning it and putting it on YouTube or something.
No, you have some old tattered flag. How do you dispose of it? How do you get rid of it? Burning it seems logical. I think GQ on the North Shore is right.
Or you burned it accidentally, like your boy in that episode of Seinfeld when he burned a Puerto Rican flag.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No, boy, I got to check that out on YouTube. I'll probably have the main scenes. I'll just have to watch that and I'll get the gist of it.
I didn't even watch Seinfeld and I know about that episode yet.
No, that's hysterical. The other thing GQ was right about, he sent me, a little message, went to Gallagher's 527, a message complete with photos, and GQ's doing it right. I saw the crab meat St. Francis, the jumbo lump crab meat, piping hot appetizer in that little ramekin, and it's not an au gratin, no cheese in this dish. Just incredible seasonings and just chef-driven, delicious crab meat St. Francis appetizer in that ramekin at Gallagher's 527. One of the best crab meat appetizers anywhere. a second photo, I saw the seafood mirliton. That side is $10. It comes in a big old dish for sharing at the table, and it is absolutely fantastic. Like this mirliton, I think if you flung it against the wall, it would stick to the wall. It's just so good, and just a great consistency. No, I love the photos from GQ on the North Shore going to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. No, just talking about it right now. I want to go this week and get that Corey trifecta I talk about at lunch. It's just separate items on the menu, and there's no Corey trifecta. Who knows? Maybe we'll make it popular and they'll put it on the menu at a special price. Who knows? But I get a cup of seafood gumbo to start, the crab meat St. Francis appetizer, and then the shish kebab for lunch. The shish kebab's $19. It's 4 big chunks of filet with bell peppers and white onions and a nice little side of green beans. It's all sizzling in butter, piping hot, absolutely fantastic. Those 3 dishes, the gumbo, the crab meat St. Francis, the shish kebab, only at lunch, the shish kebab, that's just a 3-course meal that kills it. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville, so damn good. Seriously, you South Shore folks, make the drive and you'll be like, Corey was right. That was incredible. That was so good. I mean, it's not good. It's not very good. It's going to be one of the best dining experiences you'll have. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Yummy. Smitty's Supply in Roseland. Yucky. I don't know what Smitty's Supply did, right or wrong. It could have just strictly been an accident. Could have been something that was almost inevitable. I have no idea. We'll find out. There'll be an investigation and we'll find out, hopefully. But boy, the fire of this, like, I don't want to say tank farm, but this facility with millions of gallons of all kind of different petroleum products in a bunch of different tanks, most of them linear. You know, not the low tank farm fat guys, but tall linear that hold a lot less than a tank at a tank farm, but still millions of gallons at that facility in Roseland. It went up in flames. Huge orange flames, out of control. No way to stop it. No way to put that out. Unless you could put some, the Superdome roof over it and suffocate it. I mean, it's just no way. It's going to burn until it burns out. And then the black plume of smoke was just ridiculously thick. Could not even see through any of it. Like black as dark as can be and thick and just billowing out of there and just going all over Tangipahoa Parish, whichever way the wind was blowing. Black rain, black crap coming out of the sky, people breathing it in, oil all over vehicles, animals, vegetation everywhere. No, it's terrible. The Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality is weak to begin with. So the feds have come in, the EPA is taking over, but the EPA has been a little spayed or neutered. I'm a pretty simple guy. Department of Defense, I want military people, defense people running that. EPA, I want environmentalists running that. So the feds have taken over, but several air monitoring tests by both the EPA and the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality, both by the state and the Fed environmentalists, quote, environmentalists, I use that loosely. No detectable levels of hazardous substances. It's like, are you friggin' kidding me? I mean, anyone that sees any of the video of the fire, the plume, it's just toxic crap. Those chemicals on the ground in liquid form maybe should never be meeting together, and then they're going up in flames. I don't know. Go throw a plastic 2-liter bottle in your barbecue pit and breathe that in. You think that's a healthy thing to do? I mean, are you kidding me? And that's a refined petroleum product. I mean, of course, it's hazardous substances. Coating. My dog was white. Now he's black. I mean, it's just insane. The EPA and the DEQ, they're just doing us no justice, not letting the citizens know the truth about any of this. Just this cut and dried. It's all right. No problem. We didn't detect anything bad going on with that plant exploding and just plumes of black smoke and black crap falling out of the sky, and folks saying black chips like flakes falling out of the sky. Yeah, no problem. Should hope that happens all the time and go outside and dance around naked in it and breathe it in. Wow. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. Just crazy. Just tell us the truth. Mayor Junket Cantrell, her indictment. The arraignment 16 days away. Kaboom.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole-Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
As New Orleans as the mighty Mississippi, Corey Johnson.
The old miss, the old man.
On 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
Deep River, my home is over Jordan.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday. 766-9480. 766-9480. Got a good week lined up for you. Another edition of Hillier and Hennigan later in the week. It's about time. So much stuff going on at a national level, especially with the president, Republicans, Democrats, Newsom, all of it. We'll get right-leaning Quinn Hillier, a lifelong conservative left-leaning Ellis Hennigan on later in the week, hopefully for a full hour. I think that's slated for Thursday, 5 o'clock power hour, if I'm not mistaken. I'll get that verified. And also, New Orleans' own Cameron Gilly's going to join us live in studio. I may have to stretch this into 2 hours. I'm not kidding you. Who's Cameron Gilly? He ran in the Leadville 100, that race in the mountains in Leadville, Colorado, where you're running at like 9,600 feet is like the lowest, like basically 10,000 feet is the lowest, and you go to 12,500 feet, and it's up and down the whole time. So the elevation climb over the 100 miles is 15,000 feet, 15,000 feet. And it's a 100-mile race. You heard me right, 100 miles. When Cameron Gilly's saying something like, man, one of the most amazing things was watching the sunrise over this lake 2 days in a row. Like the race starts at 4 a.m. local time, Leadville time, 4 a.m. on a Saturday morning, 4 a.m. Cameron Gilly finished that race Sunday morning at 11 a.m. He ran for nearly 29 hours straight. And if you don't get in under 30, you don't get that coveted buckle, that belt buckle that says you did the Leadville 100. Only a few select people get that. Like 700 something people started, like a little over 700. And like 45% didn't make it, like 300 did not finish the race. And those that did finish didn't finish in under 30 hours. His goal was under 29. That was his goal. 30 to get the buckle. I want to get it under 29. And he did it in 28:53. Beat his goal, made his goal by 6.5 minutes or so. That's just pretty inspiring, incredible stuff, especially from a New Orleanian. I mean, the winner of the race is like a Colorado person. They go out their door, there's a trailhead, and they're running up and down automatically. Cameron Gilly's running on St. Charles Avenue, bike paths in City Park. I caught him on Canal Boulevard out by the lakefront, 28 miles in one time when he was preparing for the Leadville 50, which he did in July. The Leadville 50 to get ready for the Leadville 100, which he did last month. It's inconceivable to me. I mean, the Leadville 50 is a couple of marathons in the mountains. And the Leadville 100 is 4 marathons, essentially, in the mountains. It's crazy. Did I mention 10,000 plus feet? Yeah, like low oxygen, hard on the body. You're not getting as much oxygen to the muscles. It's crazy. He'll join us live in studio later in the week. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Hillier and Hennigan because Donald Trump, you heard Miss Marie, we didn't even get into, is it constitutional or not? She's against flag burning. I'm against flag burning too, but I'm for it as a First Amendment right, freedom of speech, right to protest. You can burn the flag. I don't like it. I'm not thinking about doing it. I don't want to do it. I would bet my life I'll probably never, ever do it. And there are a bunch of lunatics that do it, but that's the beauty of America. We even allow the idiots. I keep bringing up David Dork because he's such a perfect example. Don't even call him by his real name, David Dork. That was a great bumper sticker. David Dork, Fuhrer, when he was running for governor. David Dork, Fuhrer. That was the bumper sticker. It's like, wow. Anyway, even that Nazi, KKK, scumbag, racist idiot, he has the right to protest in America. That's the beauty of this country. I mean, I landed on the dumbest show in the history of television yesterday for like 5 good minutes till I realized, Corey, wake up. It's the dumbest show in the history of television. That Taffer guy, Bar Rescue.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's horrible. It's so ridiculous.
I thought of you because there's a YouTube video that just came out breaking down like how fake it's gotten.
Oh, it's all fake. They don't do any renovation anymore. In the beginning, they're doing like $100,000 to the bar year one. Now it's like $10,000. It's all donated by locals that just get the plug at the end of the show.
Yes.
you know.
Even the fan base of the show is like seeing all that.
Oh, no, of course. It's a farce. Ain't fixing any bars. And then if you look into the bar like 6 weeks later, 2 months later, they abandon everything. Sometimes they even take down the sign and go back to the old name, all this stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's bogus.
Yeah, it's totally bogus.
Shout out TJ's.
Yep, TJ Quills, exactly.
Good
And
times.
yeah, that was interesting. I know a little bit about that one. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Got a pretty big 5 o'clock powwow with Smitty's Supply, 90+% contained. But boy, the EPA and the DEQ just totally BSing us. We did some air monitoring and no detectable levels of hazardous substances. Oh, what's all that petroleum crap all over my house, my car, my cattle, my you know, all over my farm, all my vegetation coated in it. No problem, huh? Meaningless. We all know that. We know it's toxic. My God. Junket Cantrell arraignment 2 weeks from Wednesday. Donald Trump signs executive order banning flag burning, a year in jail. ICE arrests Abrego Garcia, gonna deport him to Uganda. A judge temporarily holds that deportation. Louisiana's first 2 Buc-ee's delayed. You'll have to wait on those Buc-ee bites or head to Mississippi or Texas. I went to Buc-ee's once. Brett Martell's going to join us in the 5 o'clock powwow. But first, it's Blue Boy. What, buddy? It's a big week. Tulane, 11 a.m. Saturday morning at Yeoman versus Northwestern. You're darn tootin', Blue Boy. What? 6th-ranked Clemson hosting 9th-ranked LSU Saturday night. Holy smokes. Saints got to cut down to 53 by 3 o'clock tomorrow. Blue Boy, you're on fire. What else? Shaquille O'Neal wants to invest in the LSU arena. Blue Boy, you have every story.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint and Supply.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's called more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
We'll be popping and it's hot. What's the saying, Mario Brothers? It's 5 o'clock and it's popping and it's hot.
It's popping. It's hot. It's 6 o'clock. We'll say that top of the hour.
Didn't you say there's a term for when it doesn't really rhyme?
Oh, yeah, slant rhyme.
Slant rhyme?
Yeah, like a slant rhyme.
It
Yes.
just doesn't rhyme, but we're going to go with it anyway because it sort of rhymes.
Yes, and you could use it in a poem or rap. Yeah.
No, you can use it in a poem.
That's where I learned in literature class.
Really?
People do it.
Slant
yes.
rhyme?
Yes, slant rhymes.
Well, the rap music community has taken the slant rhyme to an entirely different level.
Yes, yes.
If poems use it like, horse and buggy, this is a jet rocket ship. This thing's going to Pluto. Oh, language. Slant rhyme. It doesn't really rhyme, but we're going with it anyway. Wow. And literature class, that had to be at LSU.
No.
Couldn't have been at Brother Martin.
There's like middle school literature.
Nice. Exactly. Middle school, not Brother Martin. Thank you. Clarification.
Okay.
I could see that. Where'd you go to middle school?
St. Elizabeth and Seton. It's now Divine Mercy. In Kenner.
Okay, there you go. No, that makes sense. Because Brother Martin could not have taught you that. Impossible.
All right.
We'll visit with Scott Craig on Friday and discuss Brother Martin and its educational shortcomings.
I was about to say, I assume you studied communications broadcasting. I'm surprised you never heard slant rhyme.
No, I haven't. You've seen that bumper sticker, huh? Brother Martin, at least it's not Rummel. Have you seen that? That's y'all's motto now.
Really?
Brother Martin, at least we're not Rummel.
That's funny.
Yep, that's the motto. All right, you Rummel and Brother Martin people, ease up. I'm coming after Jesuit and St. Aug, any Catholic league school. I'm a De La Salle boy. It's free reign on any Catholic. If you're Jesuit, you go after De La Salle, Shaw, Brother Martin, St. Aug, Rummel. Come on, ease up, relax. 766-9480. 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you. 5 o'clock power hour on a Monday. A ridiculously full slate. Smitty's Supply in Roseland, a big explosion and fire. We were talking about it late Friday as it went down right off Highway 51. They say now like 90+% contained, just sort of smoldering now. From what I saw, like it wasn't a tank farm, just a facility with those tall linear tanks, but many of them holding millions of gallons of all different kinds of petroleum products, from like crude to diesel to lighter fluid for charcoal to chemicals, all kind of different stuff. And they had some kind of malfunction, explosion, some type of problem where there was a fire, something that caused that place to go up. And just orange flames, tank after tank getting ruptured, going off, blowing up, fire, no way to stop it. Thick, ridiculously thick, toxic black smoke, something you don't want to be anywhere near. Petroleum products. I mean, I mentioned last hour, take this 2-liter refined petroleum product, this 2-liter bottle, throw it in your barbecue pit on the coals, and as it melts, breathe in the fumes. You want to do that? Just stupid. It's toxic. You don't want to be breathing in burning, melting plastic. So this plant is just spewing it. People are talking stories over in Tangibo Parish near Roseland that black rain coming down, black flakes falling out the sky. Their white car is black. Their white dog is black. Crops, vegetation covered in this petroleum product. So this Smitty supply, I don't know the story. I'm not blaming Smitty's an accident, preventable, not preventable. I have no idea what went down, but it pollutes the air, the land, and the water. Tangipahoa River is contaminated. You got booms everywhere trying to catch the petroleum products floating on the top. I mean, that's the only benefit. Lighter than water, all the crap floats to the top. For a while, gotta get it all scooped up. I know there's going to be huge amount of fish kill, all of that. Not good. You know, it's amazing in Louisiana, we haven't had more of this. Like, I'm not wishing for this, the opposite. I just worry about, are we on top of it? Are the regulations being followed? Because Louisiana's Department of Environmental Quality sucks. The inmates run the asylum, the oil and gas industry, the chemical industry, they dictate policy. And DEQ, they're in bed with these folks. They go hunting and fishing together. They go to meals together in Baton Rouge. They do all this stuff together. I got no problem working together with the industry, but hey, remember, I'm the cop. I'm the regulator. You got to follow the rules. And when there are penalties, they have to be stiff fines and penalties that affect the business. But in Louisiana, they're not. And we often find out about it after the fact because of some fish kill or something floating out of the sky, landing on your dog or your car or you. So this isn't good. The DEQ in Louisiana is so weak. I mean, it's embarrassing. The feds, the EPA is taking over. I don't have a lot of confidence in today's EPA federally. The EPA and DEQ did air monitoring in and around Roseland and said no detectable levels of hazardous substances, which is just meaningless. For everybody that was in or around that area knows the opposite's true. No, the facility is basically leveled. I mean, there might be like a couple of tanks still standing that weren't part of the main complex that were sort of separate off to the side, maybe. But from what I've seen, where there were dozens of tanks, all different sizes, millions of gallons, it's just flattened. It's leveled. No tanks left in that main area. Anyway, insulting the EPA and DEQ. No, there's a really nice lady she's on social media all the time. Sweet lady, husband, family. It's a tight nuclear family. You can tell. They have a special needs kid who's special, like in a positive way, just always positive. The family embraces him. Everybody's equal. It's just, incredible how they are. She posted some stuff like, I'm 3 to 5 miles from Smitty's. We all know Smitty's. I was like, get out of there. Go to New Orleans, go to Baton Rouge, check into a hotel for a few nights at least. Get away from that area. I mean, there was a mandatory evacuation right around it. I don't want to be anywhere near a petroleum product that's burning. I don't want to be anywhere near that. Hey, the phone number to participate in the program, 766-9480. Were you up in Tangipahoa Parish? You experiencing any of this petroleum product crap all over your house, car, animals, farm animals, livestock, vegetation. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Indicted Mayor Junket Cantrell. Her arraignment in federal court on Porter is 16 days away. She'll be walking up with her attorney in 16 days, Wednesday, September 10th. No, I'm hoping for. I mean, her nickname says it all, Junket Cantrell. Most of the time when you're federally indicted, you are restricted. Your travel is restricted to that district you got indicted in. Here it would obviously be the Eastern District of Louisiana. Junket Cantrell should be grounded. No travel. No travel. Oh, boy, this goes in the 10 Commandments category. You know, unconstitutional. Donald Trump signs an executive order banning flag burning with a penalty of 1 year in jail. Says it incites riots. Just like automatically, you burn a flag, a bad riot happens. Automatic. It's obviously a form of political expression. It's not illegal. 766-9480. 766-9480. Bill Maher made an excellent point. Saw it on social media. He does a Friday night show on HBO, and he just made a great point about Donald Trump. And he said, it's genius. He's giving Donald Trump credit. Trump goes after groups with like the hot topic. Hey, we're thinking about legalizing marijuana. Like now the folks that are like marijuana, they're like, we like Trump. He hits certain topics. Flag burning, illegal. Doesn't matter that it's unconstitutional. People that are, consider themselves hardcore patriots that not only would they never burn the flag, they think it's unpatriotic and it should be illegal. You should not be able to burn that symbol. They love this. I mean, Bill Maher rattled off a list of things. Most of them won't stick. But Trump's like for that, and that group jumps on board. They're like, man, I may not like Donald Trump on a lot of his policies, but the thing that's most important to me in life, he's for it. So when I say stuff like master politician, one of the greatest politicians of all time, and like some political folks just, no, he's not, and they just go off on him like they can't pull themselves outside the bubble and just look at it like him or not, ideology's good, ideology's horrible. He's flaky, he's consistent, whatever you think. He's the master politician. He knows how to bring in groups. He knows how to win elections. He knows how to get people on his side. He's the master politician. I think anyone who doesn't see that's in denial. Like him or not, it's irrelevant. 766-9480. 766-9480. No, the flag burning year in jail, it's not going to stick. There'll be some idiot that burns a flag and then commits a major crime, like blows up a car. He'll go to jail and they'll say, yeah, that flag burner went to jail. It's like, yeah, he blew up a car. That's why he went to jail. ICE arrests Abrego Garcia, deporting him to Uganda until a judge temporarily holds that deportation. The two Buckies in Louisiana being delayed. Not good, Louisiana. Come on, Jeff Landry. I don't care about Bucky's. I've been once. I'll never go again. I don't care about Bucky's. I just want businesses, employees, people working, investment, tax dollars generated. Everybody else gets their Bucky's open quick. Two in Louisiana, bogged down in crap.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-JC.com, your cool spots.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. As New Orleans as coffee in the morning and as New Orleans as coffee in the morning and raw oysters for lunch. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx at the controls. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx. I think the weather people are lying today.
Yeah, agreed.
It's 94 degrees. Feels like 101. Now, it's sunny. It's not a lot of clouds, so I'm not saying it's not hot. But it's 43% humidity. And what did you say right away when I called that nonsense? What line did you say?
I said that math ain't mathing.
That math ain't working.
Yeah.
That math ain't working. I'm serious. I don't know what the formula is, but 94 degrees with 43% humidity, I think it is impossible for it to feel like 101.
Yeah, it's just
unless you're under a microscope or a big old, whatever the
thing to kill ants.
Yeah. Well, I'm going blank on that.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called either.
Boy, that's terrible.
But yeah, whoever was running the website today, I think was just going through the motions.
I think whoever was running the website today at weather.com was just like, they like the clicks or whatever.
Or that.
94 degrees feels like 101, yet the humidity's 43%. No, it's 94 degrees feels like 89 because the humidity's 43%. What a bunch of jokers. Anyway, it is still hot where you need air conditioning. It's funny. I crank my AC down at night more than during the day. Now, I'm comfortable in my house during the day. It's not like I'm trying to save money or energy or don't run the unit. I got it like at 73 or something during the day, and I'm comfortable in the house. But at night, I lower it to like 72 or 71. I don't know. I like it as an ice box overnight. It's crazy. Anyway, if you ever need air conditioning help, Total Maintenance is the call. They've been in Southeast Louisiana for over 40 years with a sterling reputation. Total Maintenance. It's fair and honest Lucas and the boys, incapable of screwing you around. They come immediately with a sense of urgency because your AC is not working right, and they diagnose it right the first time. These are the pros. If you have air conditioning needs in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, don't mess around. Go to the experts at Total Maintenance. Think TM, tm-ac.com. Total maintenance, tm-ac.com. Yeah, I do not think the math works either, Mario Brothers, aka Latinx. I think you nailed it. The math doesn't work. I get new lines. Talk radio is amazing. We had Miss Marie last hour. She's like, all my opinions don't float. She was just saying, like, I'm not right all the time. I'd never heard that all my opinions don't float. So that was a good line. And then Mario Brothers just with this 94 degrees, 43% humidity, feels like 101. I'm like, that's BS, Mario. He goes, yeah, that math doesn't work. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't. I mean, and like literally, like the meteorologist's, formula. Okay, plug in 94 degrees, put in 43% humidity. You can't get it to feels like 101. Impossible. Magnifying glass is what we couldn't remember, Mario Brothers. Magnifying glass. Was that what we were stumped on?
I think so, yeah. I said the thing to kill it.
It's that round thing. It's kind of Italian oriented. It's got pepperonis on it and cheese and crust underneath. It's called pizza. I mean, geez, a magnifying glass.
Like
really?
its main purpose is genocide. I wasn't
Yeah, exactly. And I wasn't like disagreeing with you. Exactly. The main purpose is not to like, for somebody with bad eyesight to like read the paper. It's for, or to you look at a small print on like, some silver pattern or something or the back of a watch. It's to burn ants.
Does that even happen, or is that just cartoons?
Oh, no, it'll torch an ant.
Okay.
It'll light paper on fire.
Okay.
Yep.
Got you.
No, it'll burn a hole in your skin. It's harsh.
Not going to try that, but I'll take your word.
Now, I remember I had some friends, they had this huge rectangular shaped magnifying glass on wheels. You rolled it in front of the TV, so it made the like 26-inch television like a 35-inch television.
That's kind of cool.
No, it's not kind of cool.
I mean,
it was a bad photo. It was a bad picture. I mean, back then it was 240, like 1080, 1080 lines of resolution. It was 240. So you're talking about like 1/4 the quality of the picture. Now, I don't know what 4K is. I don't know if that's 1080 times 4, but 4K is much better than 1080. But imagine 240. It's terrible. There's something I was watching the other day, the channel, what's it called? Like Nest? Is that a network? Nest?
It might be, yeah.
It none of it's in HD. It's all like 240. It's like, man, do y'all have stuff? Can I get a black and white TV with the tube in the back? Can y'all mail me that? It's unbelievable. None of it's in high def. It's all very fuzzy. I didn't think the Saints game was in high def. If it was like 720.
Yeah, the preseason ones.
That preseason game was not at 1080. Am I wrong?
No, they haven't.
Am I right or wrong? I don't think that was 1080 high def, the Saints preseason game the other night.
No, I'm with you. You'd have to prove it to me. And it's been that way for forever and ever.
No, I think high def cameras are expensive. It's like a local broadcast, I think.
Yes.
It's not like ESPN. X amount of cameras. I don't think they're all high def. I think they're like, okay, guys, we got 2 high def and 8 that aren't. We're going to have to just go with a 720 or I don't know what it was, but it seemed a little blurry and not quite as sharp to me. Anyway, speaking of sports, in about 10 minutes, Brett Martell's going to join us from the Associated Press because it is a huge sports weekend. Saturday morning at 11 a.m. at Yulman Stadium, 33rd ranked Tulane, the Green Wave, 33rd in the country, hosting Northwestern, not out of Natchitoches, out of Chicago. That's a big game for the Wave to get out the gate fast with a Big 12 team, Big 10 team. What are they? Big 10?
Yeah,
Big 10.
Big 10, yeah.
That's 11 a.m. Saturday morning, which also happens to be when Arch Manning and Texas, #1 ranked team in the land, Texas out of the Southeastern Conference now, traveling to #2 Ohio State. What is that, the Horseshoe or whatever?
Yes, the Horseshoe, you got it.
100 and something thousand?
Mm-hmm.
I know very little about sports, Mario, but I still know a little.
You got it, defending national champion. Ohio
11 a.m. So while the Green Wave's playing, that big national game is playing. Now, that thing will be long over by like 2:30. Saturday night in South Carolina on ABC, nationwide television broadcast, 6:30 kickoff. #6, Clemson hosts #9, LSU. So huge weekend for Tulane, huge weekend for LSU. Saturday morning Waves, Saturday night Tigers. Yeah, you right. And then the Saints. No starting quarterback name yet, huh, Mario Brothers?
Nope.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's a very close race between two guys that really aren't ready to play and start.
Yep.
So they've got to be careful on what they do. Don't want to wreck Shuck's confidence, but maybe he should be the guy. Rattler might be better off the bench. Maybe Rattler's the guy. They have a tough call to make. It's close.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Brett says about it.
But like Jim Finks often said, when you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. And it isn't like these are two NFL starting caliber quarterbacks and you're trying to figure out which one's best. It's which one's best and you hope they're NFL starting caliber. It's kind of the opposite.
You're banking on hope with either one you make at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally.
Let's just call it what it is.
It's all hope. No, exactly. We talked about hope and expectations.
Yeah.
Tulane, LSU, their expectations, 10-plus wins. You better win 10 or more. Unacceptable if you win 9 for LSU and Tulane. Saints, there's no expectation. I think Saints are going to win like 4 games. That over-under, the sucker bet is the over. 4.5's the over. That's the sucker bet. As a gambler, I don't gamble. But as a gambler, if I were, I'd be like, the sucker bet is the over of 4.5, especially locally. No, the under is the bet. Saints are probably going to win like 4. Saints have to cut to 53. It's still 53, Mario Brothers?
Yes, I believe so.
Got to cut to 53 by 3 o'clock tomorrow. Then it's Arizona in the Dome, the home season, regular season opener, like 13 days away, 1 week from this Sunday. Brett Martell from the Associated Press will join us to chat about it in less than 10 minutes. Hey, dinner tonight? How about Katie's in Mid-City? What an extensive New Orleans-based menu to begin with, but then Scott Craig goes out to the local seafood purveyor, and whatever's the freshest, those are the specials. And he just gets what he can. Wow, the flounder's the special. I mean, the flounder's your fresh fish. You just caught it today. I'll take all of it. Well, Scott, I got 17 fillets. I'll take all of it. When the 17 fillets are gone, they're gone. You got 13 soft shell crabs. I'll take them all. Katie's, a true taste of New Orleans, plus a lot of great New Orleans seafood specials. Iberville, Corner Talamacus. Tonight for dinner, make it Katie's. Can't go wrong there. Corey Johnson with you. Hey, if you're watching on television, 4 to 5:30 weekdays on Cox Channel 4, Spectrum Channel 333, all over Louisiana, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette. But right now, 5:30, we say adios. But the radio and YouTube channel, we continue until 6 p.m., so go to that. Yep, seamlessly continuing till 6 p.m. Corey Johnson with you. Slew of topics. The EPA and DEQ doing a bunch of air monitoring tests the last 24, 36 hours. They're meaningless. When they say no detectable levels of hazardous substances around Roseland. Okay, then y'all missed the Smitty supply explosion and fire, where millions of gallons of petrochemical-based products went burning up in the sky. Orange flames, thick, toxic black smoke covering the area. Crops, vegetation, livestock, animals, houses, cars, people. Oil all over. Flakes of it falling out the sky. Black rain when it rained. Crazy. And the feds and the EPA say no detectable levels of hazardous substances. Then there are no hazardous substances. My God. I said it last hour. This refined petroleum product, this plastic container that I'm drinking water out of, plastic bottle. Go throw down some charcoal tonight and throw that in your grill and smell that. Breathe that in. See if that, you think that's healthy? You think that's healthy? 766-9480. Donald Trump signs an executive order banning flag burning. You burn a flag, you're going to jail for a year. Junket Cantrell arraignment 16 days away. A delay in the Louisiana Buckies. Oh, no. Oh, no, seriously. Like, We can't have our you know what together where these Buckies get built, but they're being built in Louisiana, Arkansas quickly. Come on, North and South Louisiana, get your you know what together.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets. The vibe of the Crescent City, Corey Johnson.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Also from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida on 600 AM and 1560.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday afternoon. Huge weekend. College football's about to take off. I think Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, lots of games scheduled over the next few days, coming up in just a couple of nights. NFL after this weekend, it's NFL every week through February. The football season's upon us. Brett Martell's been writing for the Associated Press for nearly 30 years. He was in Baton Rouge today for Brian Kelly's, I guess, first press conference before the first game Saturday night at Clemson. Brett Martell joins us on the program. What up, Brett?
Hey, Corey. How you doing? It was, yeah, indeed, the first game week press conference of the season.
What stood out, Brett? What jumped out at you? Brian Kelly's been very, very confident. He's not holding back as far as, this could be a special team, a championship caliber team. He's raised the expectation level even higher than it naturally has been, I would think.
Yeah, and there was more of that today, and he just said that, sometimes building a program, can take a few years. And it's funny because he kind of turned the whole 3 years to build a program thing on its head by saying that he actually brought in more transfers this year because he didn't feel ready to bring people in from outside, or quite as many people in from outside, because the program hadn't, I guess, been reborn in his image or established a new identity where he felt comfortable that when transfer players came in from outside, they would adopt the culture of the team as opposed to disrupting it.
Right.
And so that's what, in fact, made him feel more comfortable, not only bringing in more transfer players, but knowing exactly what kind of transfer players they wanted to fit the type of program that he's been trying to develop here. And he was asked some questions about the 5 consecutive opening week losses. And he said, I don't look at it that way. I look at what's going on right now. And what he sees right now is a team that has been working with the coaching staff for 9 months of being prepared to play with, I guess, energy and composure in a hostile environment in week 1 and not get kind of surprised or kind of knocked, stunned by anything.
No one followed up that question, Brett, with, Coach, you said, or at least insinuated, that you maybe were focusing on the whole season and a championship instead of the first game. And y'all said it's all about Clemson. It's all about Clemson. It's all about Clemson, when you weren't doing that in the past. No one followed up with that, Brett?
No, not really. I mean, I think we were just kind of trying to let him explain I think people were just asking what's different. And he just said, I think I have a well-trained eye, and I think that what I see is a team that's more confident and more prepared to come out of the game in a, kind of a sharp and confident, composed way. But of course, it's all talk, until they actually play and it happens. And so, look, all coaches have different ways of trying to build up their team, both privately and publicly. And I think he believes that, this is what his players need to hear him say to the world right now. But we'll see if they can actually live up to the praise that he's giving them in advance of this big game where they are not favored.
No, they're not. But also, I think it's Clemson by 4. And, Vegas gives you 3 for being at home. And then there's special places, maybe a dozen in all of college football, like Tiger Stadium, for instance, like the Superdome for the Saints, where it's sort of considered with gamblers, you're not getting 3 in those places, you're getting 4. So Clemson's favored by 4. So that tells me at a neutral site, it's a pick'em game. And it tells me at Tiger Stadium, it would be LSU by 4. So I think it's an evenly matched game. I think that's pretty accurate too, Brett. I mean, there's a lot of similarities between these teams. I think they are kind of evenly matched. So I think you'd have to give Clemson an edge because they are at home. But this thing's going to be interesting to see what happens. LSU wins, Clemson wins, close game, blowout. No, a lot of folks are anxious to see what the 2025 college season has in store, and obviously locally what LSU's all about.
Right. I mean, the safest bet is just, take the Tigers in Death Valley.
That's a safe bet. Yep. You won't go wrong there. I don't know if the bookies look at it that way, though. Pretty complete team, Brett. They brought in a bunch of transfers. A bunch of these transfers are starting. Did they come up with a number? I mean, you basically have about 23, 24, 25 starters when you kick in special teams. How many of the 23, 24, 25 starters are transfer portal guys? I'm thinking it's about a half dozen at least, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. It's somewhere along those lines. Yeah,
The center, another guy, the center, another guy on the O line, I think, D tackle, D end.
Yeah, maybe 3 of the defensive backs, maybe both defensive ends.
It might be both safeties, exactly. Even one of the corners. I mean, it could be like a 6-8 transfers starting for LSU, and then Kelly seemed to insinuate that another 6 or 8 are going to be major contributors, if not the bulk of those guys. Throw in what he's had, throw in the recruiting class. I guess now's the time to get it done.
Right. And I think one of the receivers too is one of the top receivers is a transfer as well. So
yep. And a lot of depth in that position.
Right. Yeah. He believes they're almost 8 deep and have a couple guys that can beat anyone down the field, which is great when you have a quarterback that can get it to him.
Yep.
Like Nussmeier can.
Yeah, no, they'll have no problem with the wide receivers and Nussmeier. I hope they're 8 deep on the O-line and the D-line. What was that talk about Kelly saying I'm going to be rotating in 8 offensive linemen in the game against Clemson? That seems like a catch-22, like you're still trying to figure out who the 5 best are. And, this is Clemson with a formidable defensive front. You don't want to be messing around rotating in offensive linemen, right?
Well, I think in his mind, he's got a lot of good ones where the competition is really close, and he'd rather keep them all as fresh as possible and get some reps. He believes that these are experienced guys and that they're perfectly capable of going in and executing, and they don't have to, be out there every play for the offense to have a rhythm. But we'll see about that.
Yeah, I've heard of that on the D line, Brett. You want that on a D line. The great defensive lines in college go like 7, 8, 9 deep. All of a sudden, George is running in 2 guys at D, one guy at D and one at defensive tackle off the sideline in the fourth quarter, and their uniforms clean and they're fresh and they're viable players. So I've always understood that on the D line, but teams rotating in offensive linemen, that's not a normal thing, is it?
It's very unusual because obviously you want the offensive line to have chemistry and to be on the same page and to naturally know how to adjust to a blitz or a change in defensive formation, and just you want the guys next to each other to have tremendous chemistry. So I think on some level it is going to be that is unconventional. I'm curious to see how much he really does it. Sometimes he says he's thinking about doing things, and he gets in the game and ends up not quite being that way. He may just do it a little bit. So we'll see.
Brett, this almost seems like a must win in a way. And you're like, Corey, it's the first game of 12. What are you talking about? The 8-game SEC slate, which is going to increase to 9 in a year, the 8-game SEC slate, conventional wisdom's like a good year would be like 6-2, Now, obviously a special year could be 7-1 or 8-0, but I think all practical purposes, you're probably going to go like 6-2 in the SEC, hopefully better. But to lose to Clemson, you go 9-3. Brian Kelly might be ousted as coach. I don't think that would be acceptable. I'm not saying you losing to Clemson's unacceptable. You go 7-1 or 8-0 in the SEC, it's fine. But if you lose to Clemson and lose a couple in the Southeastern Conference, go 9-3, don't make the college playoff. Brian Kelly could be on the hot seat.
He could be. It'll be halfway through the $100 million contract. That's still a huge buyout.
Yep.
And I think with the 12-team playoff, you do have a chance to recover from the first game. It's just that a much smaller margin for error.
Yep.
So I don't want to go so far as to say it is a must-win, but it's going to be kind of another piece of evidence in the argument to get rid of him for all the people that do want to get rid of him. And he has been somewhat of a polarizing figure as LSU coach so far. And so, we'll have to see. But Look, I'm sure if he loses that Clemson game and then they rally and end up, in the 12-team playoff, no one's going to be calling.
No, of course not. Of course not.
But if he loses that game and then they just barely miss the 12-team playoff, then we'll look back at that game, especially if it's one they had an opportunity to win and blew it.
Yep.
And it'll be something we're talking about exactly like this.
Hey, Brett, is it pretty simple? The strength of this LSU team is the offense?
You'd have to say so, because just at this point, because there are a lot of unknowns at defense, although they think they can be quite good at defense. They really like the guys that they've brought in on the defensive line. That's, it's second year with the defensive coordinator they brought in from Missouri, who they really like. So, the defense could end up being a strength, but we just don't know until you see him play.
No, you can't win championships if the defense isn't viable. The defense has to be good for LSU to advance. I mean,
but you have a quarterback who's a Heisman candidate.
Yep.
For over 4,000 yards last year, and you know that he's only a year better and more comfortable with all the senior leadership that goes with that. You know he's loaded at receiver. And they have two good tight ends, and they can do 12 personnel, right?
Yeah. The O line's the question mark for him. Hang on, Brett. We're going to come right back and talk a little more.
Innovation. Look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com. Thoughtful conversation, common sense. Corey Johnson.
With all due respect, Mr. Dennis, I had no idea you'd gotten experimental surgery to have your removed.
Live streaming at CoreyTalks.com.
What was that? Well, I said with all due respect.
Yeah, you right. Another Martell Monday. Brett Martell's with us. Hey, Brett, 11 a.m. Saturday morning, the Green Wave taking on Northwestern, not from Natchitoches, from Chicago. Big Ten team. Big game for the 33rd ranked Wave. It's the John Sumrall era, new QB. This looks like a pretty damn complete team. Offense, defense, depth on the O-line, depth on the D-line, lots of skilled players, and this quarterback that had BYU at 7th in the country at one time last year. Wave fans should be excited, right?
I think so. It's kind of a thing in this new era of college football, especially for the mid-majors. A team like Tulane lost all but 5 starters, and I'm talking about defense and offense combined. They have 5 starters back at a 22.
Wow.
Right? I mean, if you are a program that has momentum like they do and a coach that is talented and well-liked and good at recruiting.
You just rebuild, not reload. I mean, excuse me, you reload, not rebuild.
Reload, yeah. You restock very quickly, and once again, they're the favorites to win their conference. It's a very interesting, this is kind of a down period for Northwestern. So even though you have a Big Ten school coming in, they've got to play outdoors at 11 a.m. at the end of August in New Orleans.
No, that team.
I've been in that. Yeah, I've been in that stadium for season openers during the day, including the very first one against Georgia Tech. I want to say back in 2014, when they had all kinds of people getting. I mean, I'm talking about fans getting treated by EMS people for dehydration, and passing out. And it's also tough to play in that. I mean, I realize the athletes are a lot younger and in very good shape, but still, it can be really, really exhausting for them. They can be cramped. There can be some heat exhaustion. There can be some wearing out in the fourth quarter. So Tulane is going to have, I think, a considerable home advantage in that game against, a team they really want to beat because it's a Big Ten team and also a team that, although it's a power conference team, the program has been struggling a bit lately. And so it sets up a very, very interesting matchup and a really good look at how well restocked Tulane really is.
Yeah, the PA announcer before the game, while Northwestern's out on the field, should just remind them, it's August in New Orleans. Let's play some football. Just keep pounding that in their head. They're going to feel it, obviously, when they get off the plane. But yeah, that's a great point, Brett. That's got to be like running into a wall for these guys. Come fourth quarter, it's going to be interesting to see how worn out, huffing and puffing Northwestern is playing in 90-degree heat and humidity and all of that. Saturday morning, Tulane against Northwestern. What's the Green Wave's strength, Brett?
Well, before I get to that, I saw Zach Streep after the preseason game because he's now offensive line coach at Denver. Went to Northwestern, and I said, "So I'm going to cover your guys from Northwestern on Saturday," and he said, "They're going to melt on that field." And
wow.
So, he played for Northwestern and the Saints. He knows.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he knows.
He knows the difference.
You're right.
And he had this grim expression on his face, like he was not confident that the Northwestern players are going to handle it very well. But
that's a good story.
Yeah. So the strength for Tulane, well, I think it's a little bit up in the air because they have so many new players. But they do have, they should have a strong running game. They should, if whoever the starter is, whether it's Retzlaff or Sullivan, probably Retzlaff, I think. Can be just very competent overall moving the ball.
Yep.
But I felt like defense and the ability to turn the ball over was their big strength last year. They have a couple guys back on defense. I want to say they have 3 guys back, including a key linebacker. So, we'll see. I think the defense is going to need to be strong. Again, they got a lot of new pieces, but John Sumrall is a defensive-oriented coach, and I think they could be. They could be. They talk about complementary football, which is totally cliche, but I think that's what we could end up with Tulane.
Well, they're going to be ridiculously disciplined and well coached. Hey, Brett, the Saints don't have a starting quarterback named yet?
Not yet. at least not named. I mean, my hunch is from watching all the practices and everything, and my hunch is not the same as what I would do. My hunch is that it's gonna be Spencer Rattler.
Wow. Yeah, I think Jeff Duncan said that. Fletcher Mackel says Shuck. So who knows? It's totally up in the air.
I agree with Fletcher in terms of I think that Shuck has been really close for a rookie who's only been there a few months, and I had those 6 starts last year, the whole off season with the team, and the advantages of being a pro for a whole year, the advantages of being a rookie who wasn't supposed to play at all and ended up with 6 NFL starts.
Yep.
So that's a lot. There's a big advantage and experience. He knew the guys in the offseason. He was able to invite veteran receivers to work with him on their own in the offseason. He had all these advantages, and it shows up kind of in practice. But if you look at the preseason games, Tyler Shuck has been just as good, and I would think that he has in some ways more upside.
No, and then you mentioned all the things about Rattler. Shouldn't that have given him an edge where he really improved and separates himself from Shuck? So, and that didn't happen. So it's kind of a catch-22. You're like, man, the guy's got 5 games starting under his belt, even though they were all losses. He's a second-year guy, not a rookie, not throwing him in the fire. He's like, I don't know how many months or if it's a year, but he's younger than Shuck. Shuck's older than Rattler. So, Rattler, you could easily argue, should have really moved up another level, and I don't know if he has or not. So, yeah, I don't know who I would start. I don't know if you want to throw Shuck out there and you could hurt his confidence, or you bring him in off the bench, or is Rattler off the bench better? I have no idea, but Jim Fink said it best. You got 2 quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks.
Yeah, at this point, you'd have to kind of agree. Although in this case, it's just 2 guys who are so young, and so I mean, the thing with a first-year coach like Kellen Moore is that he has to maintain the confidence of all the players, and if he picks the wrong guy, there's a risk to that.
Yep.
And so he may be prone to judging on who has handled the practice snaps over time better than just saying, well, in the preseason games, they looked about the same and Shuck has more upside. That's why I think they may go with Rattler, because he's more of the known quantity in the locker room, at least to start off with. But yeah, I'm with Fletcher. I think, if it were up to me, but again, I don't work in football. I'm just a journalist watching this.
Yep.
I would go with Shuck.
Hey, Brett, always a pleasure, man. Thank you.
You got it.
That's Brett Martell from the Associated Press. That's Blue Boy barking up a storm, saying come back tomorrow. We got a good one for you. Straight up 4 o'clock. Be right here on radio, on television, on YouTube. Our Tuesday edition of the program. Thanks for joining us. Down, Blue Boy. Down, buddy. Now, I know you're excited. It's kibble time and walk time. Down, buddy. Down.
Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.